But Handshake is a alternative route to ICANN, or what would you call it, the traditional route?
Yeah,
the
ICANN, traditional
web
domain system. Yeah. But like how Bitcoin kind of disintermediates the reserve banks
or treasuries, central banking.
Yeah, central reserve. The Handshake disintermediates ICANN in some ways, where it's like you don't need centralized authority to grant you to approve your $200,000 amount of money that most individuals can't afford to get your own TLD. With Handshake, you can get a TLD and operate it yourself. For like some of them, you get these TLDs for pennies, for nothing, for free basically.
And just to be clear, I think we know TLD. Top level domain, like right at a dot, like .com is a TLD, so com. And com, you might not know, most people don't know, you maybe know GoDaddy, right? But GoDaddy doesn't really own .com. They are a reseller or a registrar. So you go to GoDaddy or whatever, Namecheap or whatever, you buy a domain, you're paying Namecheap or GoDaddy, but they pay VeriSign. And VeriSign is the registry that owns .com, and I think they have .net and some others. And then, so it's actually kind of complicated, to be honest. I'm trying to not go so deep.
Yeah, it's definitely a tangled web.
And then ICANN is technically a nonprofit, but I've learned about nonprofits. I think nonprofits are like what's a nonprofit?
Yeah.
Basically, a nonprofit means they don't keep the profit in the company.
Yeah.
The money goes somewhere else, but that doesn't mean it goes to good things, right?
That's
like
true.
I learned this the hard way with a lot of things, and that's why actually, if you try to do a nonprofit in a lot of countries, it's high risk. They don't let you in Thailand.
Really?
It's high fraud. So many frauds in nonprofit.
It's harder and more regulated
because
to do a nonprofit.
People use this as a front, like money laundering or scamming. Or
it's like a cover.
It's a cover because you say I'm a nonprofit, but the profit just goes to you just salary it out.
Yeah,
you just pay salary I don't want to speak of other nonprofits, but I've been associated or work with nonprofits, and they just have to spend the money at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that's basically what a nonprofit is. Like it just means they don't keep profit.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean they're looking out for our best interests as random users of the internet or people who have businesses.
Usually increases every year, right? I'm sure anybody has a domain name is paying more this year than last year. Yeah. I don't think it ever goes down, does it?
No, definitely not. Never goes up less than 10% either.
Right? There's even been some, I don't know if it's lawsuits or people contesting it, but yeah, VeriSign basically, I would consider it a monopoly. I don't know, I still prefer .com. I don't know, but I think most people prefer.
It's the default, it's the standard.
Yeah.
It definitely is the
But it
top.
increases every year, so some people say it's a monopoly because VeriSign is the only company that issues them. And they increase them every year. And then I think they say, no, it's not really because you can use something else, like whatever. But most of us still pay and you see your domain, you're not going to just stop using your If you have a domain already, you're not going to switch to another one.
Yeah,
easily.
It's a thing for brand recognition too. Yeah. If you tell someone your company and they look you up online, most people would assume it's your company.com if you don't tell them it's .ai or .something else. But
yeah, so a little bit off the track there, but I think anybody who gets involved with Handshake starts to learn this, because I didn't know this so well. Of course I knew domains, but I didn't know this before I got into the Handshake system. And so yeah, Handshake's an alternative to that. And it's a blockchain, right? I know people have bad impressions of blockchain.
A fork of Bitcoin, actually.
Yeah, it's basically using Bitcoin technology to be purely for domains.
And it follows Satoshi's original vision either, because he spec'd out Namecoin basically. Yeah. And it was one of his original first ideas of how you could utilize a blockchain and this new technology. It was
you can read it on
naming. It's so fundamental.
Yeah, he talks about it on Bitcoin Talk, I think is the forum. He says, there's posts about him talking about Namecoin, and the next project is domains. Okay, we got the banks and the money, now let's go to the names.
Yeah, so Bitcoin, hopefully it's still a success. Like I think we just had this upturn recently. That's nice.
Yeah, it picked up. We're here in just put the date in late August, and it's
Yeah.
about like 75, 76,000
Yeah.
as of recording this.
It's been in the low 60s, so
It's depressing for a lot of people.
so Bitcoin it's had its success. It maybe I don't think the Central Reserve or all these banks are really disintermediated at this point, but it's like maybe there's still work to be done, or it's like it's had its start. It's slowly disintermediating, maybe. If it's like what, 1%?
I think Switzerland just said they're using it, or they're holding it, and U.S. holds some. But yeah, it's true. There's this whole battle between SOV, or store of value, versus using it as money or cash.
Yeah, using it as a currency versus like an investment.
Like Michael Saylor will say, I see him save clips. He's like, guys, you guys are such, I forget the word is, purists or so crazy.
Yeah.
You're not going to get rid of the dollar. You're not going to, he's saying it's store of value. It's
Yeah.
the hedge against the dollar and this hedge against inflation. But a lot of the more hardcore people, I put myself in there too.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, right. I'm like, no, man,
it is a store of value.
We're going all the way, man. It's not just something you just put in your freaking computer and right. You're supposed to use it. That's the whole point.
I think it's still so early. It still doesn't seem that way because everything's still priced in all these other, what do they call them, the currencies. All the other fiat currencies. We all live under those regimes, and
it's unbelievable, man. It's like I tell my kids, it's like Monopoly, and the banker can just print and just pass out more to people.
That's literally how it is.
People accept that, right?
That's the parallel to Handshake too. That's literally how Handshake is to some extent. So this one of the most newest developments I think in the Handshake ecosystem is related to ICANN. Is ICANN decided to release new TLDs, and so I don't know. Handshake is like, it's a weird thing having two naming communities that are kind of doing the same thing, issuing new names.
Yeah, so maybe we back up a little because I think we're deep in it. So ICANN, which is basically a main or primary or mainstream domain system, hasn't issued new GTLDs, global top-level domains, since 2012. So that was 14 years ago. And I think Handshake was started to be designed in 2017, or 2018 more formally and publicly. I actually got to know the creators. It's pretty cool. And it went mainnet 2020, thinking maybe ICANN won't issue more TLDs in the future. There was this whole thinking maybe because Handshake's out, maybe. The coolest thing, I think you like it too, is there was a lot of allocation of coins to ICANN, to VeriSign, to GitHub developers. There was a huge chunk of the coin reserved for all these people to claim.
To me, that's another one of the coolest parts about Handshake. Is, I don't know, on one side of it, before getting into Handshake, I was a Bitcoiner, and as a Bitcoiner, it's like you have this gut reaction to any non-Bitcoin thing, because all the coins, that whole thing.
It's true.
It's like, even talking about any non-Bitcoin Handshake, it's like you have that. It's always in the back of the mind. It's like, the Bitcoiners think it's a shit coin.
They do. They don't listen to us usually.
But really, I don't know. To me, if there's one other coin besides Bitcoin that's worth looking at, or that has obvious value, it's Handshake. And that's the whole way they kind of developed it is part of that. And it goes along with setting aside funds to ICANN, to VeriSign. The founders, the creators of Handshake, all the investments they got, they pretty much put 90 something, like a big portion of it.
10,800,000, I believe,
which
they raised from VCs. They gave to nonprofits and open source projects.
Basically to bootstrap the project. They're like, if you have a GitHub account with over a certain amount of stars, you get free money, basically. You do this transaction, you'll get Handshake.
That's one, which is awesome, but there's two parts to this. So one part is they sold some of the coin pre-sale, which Bitcoiners don't like, but most of that, they took the cash they received and gave it to nonprofits. And like GIMP, you can look it up, it's all on the website. And the other side is, like you said, is they took a big chunk of the coin and they locked it for GitHub claim. So all these open source developers, which was amazing.
Yeah, that's how I heard about it, was some of these open source developers finding out they had these claims and talking about it on a podcast, just like we're talking about it here.
It is. I think it was meant to be like a bootstrapping word of mouth.
Yeah, to get the people interested in it who are their interests align, like developers, people working in open source, decentralized technology. And I think it's an amazing protocol. So part of my business origin story with drums is very related to eBay and auctions. And that's part of the Handshake thing that I really like too. Is it's like a very elegant auction system that is, I don't know if I can think of a more transparent, fair way to sell an asset. If you compare it to what's going on right now with ICANN's release TLDs.
Now they're just talking behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's like you apply for a TLD with ICANN, you pay them the $220,000 bribe or whatever.
Application fee. I think it's non-refundable.
Yeah,
I don't
it's,
know. Maybe
it's definitely non-refundable.
I heard there's ways to get some or all of it back. I don't know. I'm not going to pay, so I don't study it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's worth the fun.
I don't want to defend them, but I went to an ICANN event in Hanoi. There are ways, if you're a nonprofit outside of the U.S., you could have paid 50-something thousand U.S.
Okay.
And they were trying to tell me, there was people there trying to help even me, saying, oh, you could get some kind of reduction in the fee if you file as a nonprofit, non-U.S. entity.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're like a for-profit, most people pay $227. But there's some way to get some kind, I forget the term, but there's a way to pay like 50-something thousand instead.
Okay. $50,000 to
Still,
$227,000
is like a good car, right? Like even a couple cars.
Not something everyone can afford. Where that's the nice thing about Handshake is like it's easy to get like a good one-word name
for
or
now.
At
least recording this, we'll see in a few years.
Yeah, here are the dates today. It's possible.
August 2026. Yeah. Yeah, so we've been connected through that, and
yeah, I don't know. I was rambling off on the auctions. I like the elegance, and so I guess with ICANN, you apply for the TLD, and then there's some, I don't know how they determine who gets it, or
I don't
if
know
there's
either.
two people who want
like
the same one.
It's a balance of how much, and if they think they're worthy.
Yeah.
Or the most worthy.
Well, basically, it goes back to you have this central authority who's determining who's worthy to get it. Yeah. And the cool thing about Handshake is if you want this name and no one's bought it before, like it's available, you start this auction, and then it's a public auction where anyone can bid on it, and whoever's the high bidder gets it.
Exactly. It's a Victory auction, which is different than eBay, but it's...
Yeah.
It's something I never heard of this auction process before.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it either.
But it's cool because the winner pays the second highest real bid.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit different because it's not just the top bidder wins and pays the top price.
Yeah, so like an eBay auction, if I outbid someone, I will pay my highest bid,
right?
which is like it has to be X dollars above the bid before me, and that's what I'll end up paying. This, it's like, instead of paying what I bid, I would pay what the next highest person bid.
Which can be a huge gap. Like, I don't know about you.
Yeah. Some of it's free sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it can be like free.
Yeah.
But there's been surprises. There's a whole strategy to these. But sometimes you're just like, wow, nobody bid, because there's blind, which is another element. So there's a blind, and then you don't know. So somebody could put like 100,000, but it could be like all blind or a high blind, and you put like 30,000, and you could win, and maybe you pay 10,000 because the guy put 10,000 and 100,000.
Yeah, basically a blind is a way to hide your bid. So the bids are all, so you have a bid and a blind that's treated all as one lockup. Yeah. And before the reveal stage, all anyone sees is the lockup amount. So no one knows if anyone else put all their lockup in the bid or in the blind or whatever mix in between. So
But I think it works out because I tell people you should bid what you're going to pay. You shouldn't really, we all do it, but we shouldn't look at the others. You just put what you're going to pay.
Yeah, you're happy.
I mean, I still win some blind to protect yourself or to play the game, but you put what you're willing to pay. And then if you pay what you pay, if somebody bids more, then they pay what you think that they should pay. Yeah. It's cool. Because actually there's a whole burn. So that's the cool part. So if it doesn't go to a central authority, right? It just is burned. So it reduces the supply.
Yeah, it's a deflationary asset too, which
It
is
does,
what
it seems so. Man, I'm getting more excited. I gotta go to auctions now.
Yeah, the whole tokenomics of it is interesting. The whole game theory of it is interesting.
But of course, there is criticisms, but I mean, we love it.
Yeah.
But some ICANN, I don't know if I told you, some ICANN applicants, a lot of the Handshake people are talking to them on Twitter, and I don't know if I should reveal who, but one of them says, "Oh yeah, I've heard of Handshake, but it looks cool, but had really low adoption."
That's a fair criticism. And I guess full disclosure, it's not a name that you type in example.com.
yeah.
You have to get a resolver to resolve Handshake name. So it's like you could get an extension in your browser that then opens up the TLDs available to you, so you can use Handshake once.
Yeah,
So there's some steps to adoption, and yeah, it's not like it hasn't gone viral. I don't think it's had its killer app moments
it's so
yet,
frustrating because we
but-
see these kind of high-profile people that we think like Telegram, and they applied for .gram
for Graham
on ICANN, and we're like, "Hey, hello, hello,
the Graham over
we're
here.
we're here. You don't need to wait 2 years and pay $250,000 and price some extra fees on top of that." But yeah, it doesn't work. But I think people here know Headless Domains is a project I started, and .agent. I put my neck out. I
bought
.agent.
the top TLD at this
Secondary privately, but I was like, I want to get in throw myself into this because I know they're going to go for a lot of money. Like,
If anyone's registering a new TLD, someone's going for that.
.agent will definitely go, right? There's no question. So I was like, I'm going to go in, but it works now. Man, it works. Actually, people still register. Just today, somebody registered.
Oh, nice.
We launched it about 4 months ago. We just invested in it earlier this year.
Do you want to explain more maybe you have in other videos, but the grand plan for .agent?
So we picked HeadlessDomains.com for the registrar. That's where the main place you go to buy it if you wanted to buy it. The idea is, headless means, of course it sounds gruesome with some dude walking around with no head, but it's actually a technical term. A lot of people in the listening don't know what headless. I even was on another podcast, and this woman's like, "You seem to like gruesome gladiator, like Colosseum." I'm like, I do like that, but headless is actually a technical term to mean logging in without a browser. So like agents, I do headless SSO, which is single server. I don't know. It basically means you can log in with a token. I don't know how technical it get, but the point is you can tell your agent to log in. They don't. Of course, now they can use browsers. So if you ever watch your like Codex or your Claude, they can open up a browser, like browser use. But in my opinion, that uses a lot of tokens, and it's slower.
Yeah, some overhead to that.
So it's super fast if you get them to log in headlessly. I recommend it. Actually, my dev team was telling me, they're like, "How did you know that?" Because we're seeing it now. You can use a browser. The agents can use a browser, but even if they can use a browser, they're slow and they cost more. So it's way more efficient to just give them a headless login. So the idea of headless domains is you can use a domain, so I can just say, "Hey, Janice.agent," you can identity, payment, and login. So we built all of that. It's actually crazy.
So you own .agent TLD, so you can register yourself, Janice.agent. So you register your
through
SLD.
the platform, but yeah, people can buy. You can buy one. There's still a lot of good ones, but yeah, I registered it fair and square at public. I waited.
But you can assign a model, or you've built your own setup where you can assign an LLM to Janice.agent. So whenever you call that agent, you're calling that model, continuing that conversation you started with the agent.
I mean, I can't claim I invented those parts, but OpenClaw, maybe you heard of, or even Codex or others. So those are agents, LLMs, and then they have a persistent memory and identity and a tool.
But the difference with what you're doing is you add a name to that.
Yeah.
Where, like OpenClaw, you have the agent, but you don't call it with your name, or maybe it's a generic.
People give them names, but they don't have a domain. You could I also have JaniceJung.com, but this is actually like a way for one agent to communicate is another agent. I didn't build a communication protocol. My friend Ian Borders built one called ARP, but you can use different protocols for communication. But I'm the identity layer. And the other thing is .agent and ICANN, we don't even know. I haven't heard anybody say that they've applied yet publicly that I've seen. It's just been a week or two. But the point is, they're going to be 2 years away.
It wasn't in the LFG list.
He didn't do it.
I know.
LFG.link, they applied from 200, 300.
300 something. Yeah.
That's so 227,000 times 300. I don't even want to do the math. But that's how much they paid up front.
Yeah, there's another company from China that applied for 200
is that real?
or so.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's real because there's a few that are already like registered TLDs, I think.
Oh, then that's not possible, is it?
Yeah, it's not possible because like someone already holds these TLDs and they're applying. So maybe they didn't do their full research, but the rest of them may be real.
Well, I can just say I applied. Like, anybody can just say they applied. Hey, I applied. Here's my list. Maybe I should try that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Someone online was like, it's a group of Chinese celebrities or something, and a third of the names they're applying for, or a third of the TLDs are Chinese character TLDs.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about. I think they've already had Chinese or it's called Unicode, non-ASCII, I think.
Yeah.
They already have existed those.
There's a few, but I don't think there's that many. Like I think the ones that are currently registered are maybe
China.
10 to 20, right? Like.
But I heard they don't do that well.
Yeah.
They don't sell that well. One thing I've talked about on Handshake more on the Sky Include channel, for those curious, I remember I made a cool one. I was talking about the future. December. It's one of my favorite videos. And I don't know if I said agents specifically, but I said I don't see these as just normal domains. I see these as like identities, usernames. But another thing I said is, actually you can buy a .agent. People pay 50 cents. I don't know how much. I think you support it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I got.
Did you get it from the agent one, or did you get it from the human one? Because the human.
I got the agent one.
Oh, so you paid like 50 cents.
Yeah, I was able to get like 10 or 20 of them or something.
I did it on
for
purpose.
$20.
I don't want to say I don't want humans to buy it, but I'm built this for agents.
Yeah.
So you got to use the agentic payment.
Building the agent rails.
Yeah, I'm building this
to connect with the naming.
I'm not just doing another. I was even thinking about not letting humans register, or at least with the UI it's called. But I was like, yeah, I'll build a UI. But I would prefer you to use Terminal or your favorite Claude agent, AI agent, and 50 cents. 52. I picked that on purpose because the ICANN fee per year minimum, I think, is around 20-something cents.
Oh, okay.
So I know that's more than 20-something cents, but there's also called a Stripe fee. How much is a Stripe fee?
Probably 30
cents. 30 cents. So that's 50 cents.
Hey, there you go.
So I did it to be about the same cost. I almost keep most of that 50. Not I, our company keeps almost 50 cents. We almost keep all of that. But if you use that if you sold for 52 cents agent domains, you would earn maybe negative or zero. So I sold it for what I could still kind of earn something.
Yeah, you're basically selling them at cost.
Costs, yeah.
To grow the brand, to build the awareness.
But the cool thing, not just for this .agent, but the cool thing I'm trying to say is, you could have like India's another one. There's others in the India market. They said, we can't afford even 26 cents or whatever. I might be wrong on it. It's some kind of fee around that range for the ICANN. Why can't I charge 5 cents, 10 cents? I can't give it away for free. I don't know if Telegram knows. They're going to have to, if they're going to give every user on Telegram a free .gram, they're going to have to pay 26 cents per year per domain. ICANN, as far as I know, does not waive that fee. So when that dude says we're going to give everybody on Telegram a .gram, they're going to spend millions of dollars per year to ICANN for that.
Which they're probably going to...
You think they'll do that?
They're probably going to transfer that cost over to the user, maybe.
Yeah, I think
maybe they'll give them a year. Here's your name.
I think they're not going to do lifetime for free.
Oh, I would doubt it. It's probably like $10 a year.
But wouldn't it be cool if you could really... Price. So it basically means it's not possible to give a normal ICANN domain for free because of that.
Right. There's always that minimum, at least 20 cents charge.
Yeah, so and somebody's paying that, and it's not negotiable as far as I understand. Again, I don't want to say I'm an expert, but I've been studying this. So with a Handshake, you could get a TLD for free almost, or pay whatever you want, and then you could do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
You can give it as a username. You can do 52 cents on .agent. It's cool stuff you can do.
That's the thing. There's so many cool things you can do, which it's beyond what even these people applying for these $200,000 ICANN domains. They're not able to do all these things you can do with the basic Handshake domain.
Group meeting, they're already saying you can't do it anonymously. Basically, actually I just thought of that. They can't do MPP payment and X402 because you can't be anonymous.
Oh, okay, yeah, there's the whole KYC layer of it too. Yeah,
they have to do KYC.
Yeah.
So I just thought of that right now. They can't do what I do with .agent on the .agent ICANN because they need to know the who is information to do it. So they actually can't do the same thing I can do.
Yeah.
You can register anonymously a .agent on Headless Domains with the Handshake domain on your terminal, but you can't. I think maybe you could do it, but you have to have it would have to say back to you, you got to register and you got to give your information. But with mine, you could just register it anonymously for 52 cents Path USD, which is a stable coin.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So they can't, all these barriers, and then, it's unbelievable.
Also, the other stuff, like you can use a TLD as a username. Or you can use a TLD as the bear TLD.
It is pretty badass, man.
If you get a new TLD on ICANN, you can rent out SLDs.
I think you can't host a bear TLD.
I don't think you can.
I think there's a couple. I think it might be AI. I think if I've looked at it before. I don't know if they took it away, but I put a bear AI.
Really? Oh.
I might be wrong, or it might have even changed. But there's 2 or 3 that have a hosted TLD.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't realize you could do that.
It was one of them. Might have been AI. I have to check. But there was a few, and I saw it because I'm like a geek in this Handshake community. All these people over 6 years, but most of them don't let you host on Bear TLD.
Yeah. It doesn't seem common. It's like there's no comms.
I'm telling you, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
But the other thing too is the wallet, the emojis.
Emojis, I think .2 and There's another one. Can register emoji dot.
2 that you can do emoji SLDs.
Yeah, .2 is one, and I forgot the other. Maybe even comms. I don't know. But there's all these restrictions. Basically.
Yeah, out of all the new ICANN registrations or the ones they want to create in the next year or two, I don't think there's any emoji domains.
No, they don't.
There's no emoji
TLD.
Yeah.
And you can't do a less than a 3-letter. It has to be 3 or above.
Yeah.
So that's why in Handshake we all like the single or the what's freaking hard.
Yeah,
or
they're
the
rare.
2-letter because they're 2 letters in the normal domains. People don't know this, man. I didn't know this. The 2 letters in the normal domains like .co, you think it's so cool, but it's Colombia. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they all are.
Country.
They're tied to a company.
2-letter
.io
country.
is
island,
the Indonesian
something. Indian islands or.
Indonesia.
I heard there was even people scared it was going to go away because it merged with, say, the UK. That country group of islands merged, and they thought they were going to dissolve the thing, and people thought they were going to lose their IO domains. I think they sorted it out because obviously it's a huge cash machine.
Yeah.
The countries get a piece of that. I don't know the deal.
But
they get a piece of that.
I know some companies.
AI, man, that's not a freaking company. That's a country. I forget.
The country in control of AI. That's that's their new top
machine,
business. That's bigger than
the
tourism
industry. So
now.
expensive. I think it's 100 a year. It's a lot, and it keeps increasing.
For AI?
AI domains are expensive.
Yeah, they charge. It's
a
minimum 2 years.
Too. Yeah.
So that's the cool thing about
Handshake.
I have 1 or 2. Yeah.
They are cool, and they pay for a lot making money with them, but they sell for a lot now. Some people say AI is more valuable in certain cases than .com.
For certain words, for those tech words, it might be the better one now. Even I know out of all the non.com traditional TLDs, .ai is definitely taking that number 2 spot.
Great, man. We've been going on. I think this is fun. I'll probably make just a Sky Include channel session I'll probably use it for maybe both or parts
however
of it.
You want to use it is good.
Man, it's been fun to have you, and I'm getting all hyped again.
And, getting pumped up about Handshake.
And you're building on Handshake. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, so I started building a tool for bidding. So another thing that if you're into Handshake I'm sure aware of is the main tools, the main websites that most people used in Handshake have disappeared. So Namebase was like where 99% of the community held their names. Like It's probably for the best. They were a centralized authority. Now everyone's using decentralized tools.
Because you're like, oh, we're just decentralized domains, but we're all using the centralized registry.
You develop a beautiful decentralized permissionless technology, and you all agree. Oh, we're just going to use.
You can argue the same for Bitcoin with Coinbase, Binance, right? In a way,
it's very similar. Yeah, it's like all Bitcoiners keeping their Bitcoin on Coinbase. And Coinbase and them being like, oh yeah, that's how it was. And so, for better or worse, that phase of Handshake has ended. And so the whole, I don't know the market, but the community is in a little, it's like, where's a new place to go? And for me, I was like, I like the second-hand marketplace part of it. I always had fun sending offers, buying names, and so that's something I'm trying to work on. But so far, it's just like a tool for bidding. So I can schedule bids,
I've seen it.
Place multiple bids at once. Mainly the scheduling thing. It's like we both talked about how we had names that like end at 3 or 4 in the morning, and you're like, I'm already up at 2. Should I stay up? And like this is a way you can just set the bid, have it end at whatever block before the actual reveal you want it to bid. And it'll place it. And so I'm not too technical, but just getting into the vibe coding thing.
Nice.
We've both been expanding what we're able to do.
The rabbit hole is deep, but I think it's worth it, right?
Oh, it's definitely worth it, yeah.
It's experience. It's a good skill to learn, right? We need more technical people. I think the future is more and more technical.
Yeah, going full circle back to the digital nomad part of it. It's like, I think it's more and more... That's a useful skill that like everyone it will come in handy no matter what you're doing with business. We all need some website or online presence, and this can help automate that and make it less like a thing you have to do manually.
Great, man. I don't know. I could link. I don't know if you have a website yet or anything, or we could put it in notes on the blog, or if you want to shout anything out.
As far as the Handshake or my vibe-coded stuff, it's still all living on my computer. I don't have any website yet, but my drum business is counterhoop.com.
Oh, counterhoop, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like a term for a rim, the thing that puts pressure on the drum head.
Yeah,
that tunes the drum and makes the sound.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, they used to call that the counter hoop, and then the hoop or the rim.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I was like reading through old drum catalogs when I was little and saw that word. And I was
hand reg, or is that?
Yeah, it was a hand reg. It was available. That was my first domain purchase. So.
Sweet. Great, man. Okay, thanks for sharing. I had fun today.
Yeah.
I finished my beer. So.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, buddy. All right, thanks everybody. See you next one.
Thank you.